Hey, lovers! Welcome to the Book Lovers Club, the podcast where we celebrate Black sapphic love stories, one book at a time. I'm your host, Joy, a married lesbian, lifelong book lover, and relational communication scholar. Here, we don't just read the romance, we learn from it. I believe that love stories can do more than just entertain us. They can teach us how to love better, how to see ourselves more clearly, and how to create the love life of our dreams. Each week, I'll dive into sapphic stories written for us and by us, while weaving in personal insights and communication lessons you can take off the page. So grab your drink, get cozy, and let's turn the page together. Welcome to the club. Hey, book lovers! Welcome back to another episode of the Book Lovers Club. And y'all, I am so excited because I have an amazing author in the studio with me today. So I am joined today by Jessica Lewis, and I am so excited to meet with her and connect with her and for you all to get to know more about her as well. So, Jessica, thank you so much for stopping by the studio today to talk to me. Before we get started, can you tell the listeners a little bit more about you and about your work?
Yes. My name is Jessica, and I write just about every genre and age category you can think of. This one is the YA Sapphic Contemporary Romance, but I also have an adult horror that's out next year. So, huge range. I do it all. I also have a serial fiction that's currently ongoing, and that's on my Patreon in Royal Road. And that one is a fantasy/comedy.
I'm excited for the adult horror. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a haunted house book, so
Mhm.
pretty fun. It's very the vibes are very different than the the romance, but it is fun.
But that's good for spooky season. So I love a good
Yes.
spooky season read. So I know you have your book that's coming out soon called Hallie's Rules for a Recovering Romantic. Can you tell the listeners a little bit more about that book and what they can expect from it?
Yes. So Hallie is actually a companion novel to my previous romance. That one is called Nav's Foolproof Guide to Falling in Love. And so Hallie is Nav's best friend. And so we're following her story, and she is going to an academic summer camp, and she's using this as an opportunity to reinvent herself. She's had 6 exes, 6 broken hearts. And then, based on the events that happened in the previous book, she's like, "Man, I got to get it together. Like, I'm doing too much. This is just too much." So she swears off love, and she makes some goals for herself. She's like, "I'm gonna do really well at camp. I'm not gonna like fall in love with everybody I see, and I'm just gonna like go for it." And then she immediately falls in love with her cabin mate, immediately.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to have some drama there, okay?
Oh, absolutely. And her cabin mate is not very friendly. So she's very ice queen, standoffish. And so she's like, "Okay, well, we can just like be friends." But obviously, that doesn't, that never works out. So the tropes are like black cat, golden retriever, ice queen. Instead of there's only one bed, there's 2 mini beds because they have
Mm.
4 beds in their cabin, and they're the only 2 people in their cabin.
Ooh,
So
I love forced proximity.
yes, super cute, super sweet, and it's about finding yourself and discovering that you're fine just the way you are.
Oh, I love that. And it sounds like it's a really good read for the summer.
Yes, it's a perfect summer read.
Yes, I love that. So, what inspired you to write young adult novels? Is this a genre that you've always gravitated towards?
Yes, when I was first starting out, I was the age of the characters, so I was writing about my peers. But as I've gotten older, I just really like YA because it's such a fun age. They're kids still, but they don't think that they are. They think they know everything.
Yep.
It's silly and it's hopeful, and I love that it's not as like in my adult books, all my main characters are just like, "Oh, I got a mortgage. I'm
Mhm.
depressed."
Adulting. Yes.
Exactly. So YA is like that last chance that you can really capture the fun of childhood before you have to like go into the real world.
That's real. Honestly, I do think that we need more like sapphic young adult books too, because, I'm somebody that gravitated towards books to help me navigate coming out and learn
Mhm.
more about myself and go on that journey of self discovery. So, having diverse representation in the young adult, genre, I think is very helpful.
I agree, it's so important, and
Yes.
when I was a kid, I mean, I didn't have any, like, black books, like, hardly at all,
Hmm.
and so when I first started writing, I even wrote, like, white characters. I was like, "I don't even think they are gonna let me publish black characters," and so, thankfully, I got out of that, but, yeah, it was just, like, it was so rare at the time.
Yeah.
So, I think it's so important to for kids to see themselves in books.
I agree. I agree. So, are you traditionally published or are you indie or do a hybrid like some of the authors?
I'm traditional. All my books are traditional, but I am dabbling in self-publishing, but I'm really scared, so I'm taking it, like, one day at a time.
That's real. I understand. Well, do you have any tips for any authors that might be in the beginning of their writing journey that are looking at pursuing the route that you've taken by being traditionally published?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is most important, and people overlook this, but you just gotta read. Like, you have to be a reader to be a writer, and I know some people swear that they can do it. I don't believe them. You have to be able to read and read critically.
Yes.
Um, be able to pick out things that you like and don't like and discover why that is and try to, like, be an editor and say, "Oh, well, here's what I would have done." And then you that's how you develop your taste and also your own voice. And so once you have that, then you can write all you want to. But it's just so important to have that baseline.
Yeah, that's real. I hear that a lot that, to be a writer, you got to read, especially reading the genre that you want to write in.
Mhm.
So, how long have you been writing or when did your writing journey first start? And then how has your writing like evolved over time?
I started really young.
Hmm.
I won, like, a contest, I think, in 4th grade, and then you write, like, a picture book, and then, they put it in the library for a year, and I have been chasing that high ever since. And I was in 4th grade, but, I didn't get super serious about it until I was in college.
Mhm.
I was let's see, that was 2015, and I was going to be a veterinarian,
Oh,
and
wow.
I was not good at math. So, I was struggling,
So you're like, let me
and,
pivot.
yes, exactly. And so, and I did not wanna study so bad. It was biochem. I had a biochem exam, which doesn't even make sense, like, why are you putting those 2 things together? But
Mhm.
I didn't wanna study, and, I wrote my first book instead of studying, and I failed my exam, and I said, "Look, I clearly this is not where I'm supposed to be," and I loved writing that book, so that's what I did.
Wow. So you went from being a veterinarian prospect to now being an author. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Yes. What is something that happens in the book that's coming out that you're really excited for readers to experience?
Ooh, this is a good question. Oh, okay, just this is like a light spoiler.
Okay.
It's not a huge one. But early in the book, well, the big thing about romance for me is that I never focus on the physicality of it. I'm always like on the
Mm.
emotional side and how these two characters make each other's lives better. And so, early in the book, Hallie is such like a giver, and she always that's part of her problem that she wants to change, and she always gives so much of herself to other people. And so her roommate Julia is very standoffish, and so Hallie is always like roping Julia into stuff, like, "Oh, come sit with us," and like, "Come eat with us," and "Don't sit alone," and "Don't study alone," that kind of thing. And Julia's always like, "No, leave me alone," because she's an introvert. But everywhere she goes, she always looks for Julia and so she can like bring her in. And so at the end of the book, they've taken their SAT test and they're talking about it. And Hallie looks for Julia as always, but when she comes out of the room, Julia is looking for her, and it's so
That's
sweet.
sweet. That's so
Yeah.
sweet. I try to introduce my book club to young adult books, and I got a little pushback because we're in the spicy book era, and
Mhm.
everybody really likes a lot of spice in books, but I really like young adult books, especially young adult romance, because I feel like because there's not a reliant on spice, the romance is just so sweet. Have you gotten any pushback from readers or I know that there are other adults that read young adult, but that's just been like a lot of conversation around books being miscategorized and, people wanting young adult books to be spicier than they should be, like for the genre. But
Yeah.
have you experienced that as an author?
I think it happens less with YA, but it does
Mm-hmm.
happen. So I know for my first book, Nav, I had a book event, and of course, everyone that I know, like my friends and family, know about like tropes and books and what the book was for. But I had a stranger who came in, and she asked me what type of book it was, and I said it was romance, and it's a YA romance for children, and she immediately asked what's the spice level,
Yep.
and I was like, 0, it is for children. So,
Exactly.
yeah, she was embarrassed, but, like, that was just her immediate question, like, "What's the spice level? I have to know before I read it," you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a shame because I don't read romance for spice. I read
Yes,
romance because I love watching 2 people come together and fall in love. That's just my favorite thing, and I don't think that spice has to be part of that. It's nice when it is, and that's fine when it's 2 consenting adults and that's part of their story, but I don't think you have to have it.
I agree. I agree. I also think that we do need more media that is intentionally for children and teenagers. I know there's this, just a lot of conversation around the younger audiences reading some of these very adult and mature books. And I think
Yes.
that's because, we have to get books like yours that are written for a younger eye, like into
Mhm.
the readers and the audiences that need those type of books. So I think we need to protect the YA genre at all costs, okay? Because these type of books are needed. I don't know. It's a hill I'm willing to die on, but I do not think that children should be reading some of these really spicy, mature books.
I
So,
also don't think that especially, like, dark romance because, like
agreed.
yeah, like, adults, we know, like, this is pretend, like, this is not real life, and they're doing this is for, like, dramatic effect. But kids don't know that, their brains haven't developed enough, and so
Yes.
they start thinking these toxic relationships are just how it's supposed to be, and that's not good.
Exactly. Like, they don't have that context that we have, and without any guidance, I do think that reading some of that darker material can send them on a path to end up in more toxic relationships. I think somebody should study that one day, like this
Mhm.
pipeline.
I agree, yeah,
Yeah.
and especially because, they tell us when we write YA, like, your audience isn't actually usually a 16-year-old, it's really 12 and 13 because kids read up. They wanna know what high school is like before they go. They wanna
Yeah.
know they haven't been in a relationship, they wanna see what it is, and so you can't give a dark romance to a 12-year-old, like, they're not
Yes,
gonna
I
get it.
agree.
They're not gonna understand, and it's harmful, I think.
I agree. I agree. Well, with this in mind, why do you think Black sapphic representation in the YA genre is important?
I know we touched on it a little bit, but,
Mhm.
I just didn't have that representation as a kid, like, at
Yeah.
all, and, like, queer kids, they just deserve to see themselves in books, and more than that, they deserve to see themselves happy in books.
Yes.
Like, I made it such a point that Hallie and Julia, their sexuality is not the problem, it's just that they're both really dumb and stubborn. That's the
They're
issue.
kids.
Exactly. And so I think queer kids deserve to see like, oh well, the world is not the issue. It's just like me getting over myself is the issue.
Yes,
And learning that like I don't have to change for people to like me. Like I just think that's so important for kids to have.
I agree. I agree. So, what are some of the obstacles or challenges that you faced in your writing career?
Well, I would say traditionally publishing is a gauntlet,
Mhm.
just in general. And then I think it's also just harder for Black people, and then it's
That's
even
real.
harder for queer people. So I basically picked the maximum like hard mode. But at the time I was writing, let's see, Bad Witch Burning was my first book, but not the first book I wrote. So I wrote a couple books, and they just didn't go anywhere. I didn't know enough about craft. I had to practice more, and that is part of that's part of an
Yeah.
author. But at the time, I was devastated, and I was like, "No, I'm 21 years old. Like, why is my career not taking off?" And traditional publishing is free, but you pay for it with your sanity. So
That's real. Understood.
yeah, you pay for self-publishing with money, but you pay in traditional with your your mental breakdown. And so it took me 3 years to query successfully. And it was just so hard. It was a gauntlet, and I just was going mad every single day, like, changing my little query letter all the time and wondering, like, you get a rejection and it just says, "Thanks for the look," and that's all it says. Sent from
Mhm.
my iPhone. And you're like, "Oh my god, what am I doing wrong?" So, it was very challenging, but, finally I got the agent, and I still have the same agent. She is great. Her
Oh,
name's Holly
wow.
Root. I
Mhm.
know it's pretty rare to have the same one, but I have had the same one for almost 10 years now.
Wow,
And,
that's amazing.
yeah, she is wonderful. She supports all of my weird, fun projects. She told me recently, she's like, "I don't even like horror, but I do it for you." So, yeah, she's very supportive, and, that's a good part. But then the publisher part is another gauntlet, just trying to figure out the rules of each different house, figuring out who your editor is and how they edit, because not every editor is the same. Some editors are, like, actively harmful, like,
Wow,
they always
understood.
tell people, like, in when you get to copy edits, just know that they are going to have microaggressions if you're, like, a person of color.
Wow.
And it's just, like, a fact, like, you will have it, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it 'cause, traditional is moving so slow, and I think probably only in the past 5, 10 years have they even allowed people of color to be in the same room, and they are just not used to it, and there's so much, like, growing pains and so many, like, microaggressions and racism and
Wow.
just not great situations.
That's probably why so many authors are choosing the indie route,
Mhm, and I
but
don't blame blame 'em.
yeah. I'm just glad you stayed persistent though, and you were able to push past those obstacles and get your books out. But, sacrificing your sanity sounds like a lot too.
Yeah,
But your hard work pays off?
I was stubborn, I was also broke,
Yeah.
I did not have a single cent to my name, so
But
I had to make
everything's a
that work.
hustle.
Exactly.
Yes, everything's a hustle.
Yeah, I was like I was broke. I was eating ramen noodles 1 meal a day broke, and I could not put a book out.
I
So I was
understand.
like, "Traditional gotta work, I gotta do it."
So is writing your full-time job right now?
Yes, it
Okay,
is. I live with my grandmother, and so, without her, I would not be able to. So, I
understood.
mean, that's I try to be transparent, like, it's
Mhm.
not like I'm making oodles of money. I'm not.
Yeah.
But, at the time, I had a full-time job, and then I would come home to write, and so I was working, like, 12, 13, 14-hour days, and
Mhm.
then I would also work on the weekends,
Wow.
and then my grandma, she got sick, and I had to take care of her, and I was like, "I have 3 full-time jobs, and I can't do it." And
That's real.
so I couldn't stop being a caregiver, and I didn't wanna stop writing, so the full-time job had to go.
Look, but you've been grinding. And
I've been
overcoming these
trying.
obstacles, you trying you know, I feel like as a creator, especially now, like, with social media, a lot of people don't realize how much work goes on behind the scenes that leads to the moment that people see now. Like, it's so
Yes.
many hours, years of dedication and consistency that usually leads someone to where you see them. So sometimes it looks like someone has an overnight success, but you don't know the sacrifices, the financial obstacles they had to overcome to get to that moment, and how long they had to stay on the path to even get to that point. So I
Mhm.
really do understand, and a lot of just creative ventures, you do end up using a lot of your money to get started. And like people just don't know until they try to do things themselves. They may not see the hustle and the grind and the passion that really is behind getting to these levels that you're speaking to. So, like I said, I'm glad you've stayed persistent and we have these books that are coming out. And I think that that's something that can be inspiring to people who want to do what you do.
Yeah, I hope
Yes.
so.
Everything's a grind.
It is. But, I mean, it's part of it is fun, like, I wouldn't do
Yeah,
it if I didn't love to do it. And I do love writing, and I love writing different things and different people and different genres. I love it all, and that's why I can't pigeonhole myself into
yes.
one thing, because I feel like I have so many stories that I wanna share, and it just wouldn't be it would be a disservice to myself to only write about one thing, I think. So I really do encourage people, if you have a story to tell, tell it. But just know that it's difficult.
I mean, but everything that's worth pursuing is challenging in some
It's
way.
so true.
You know, it's not gonna be easy. It's
No,
got
nothing
yeah,
worth having is easy.
exactly, exactly. So, with that in mind, I know you mentioned that you like to dabble in different genres, and I admire an author who has some versatility with their pen. How has your audience been? Like, are they receptive to that when you switch genres?
I was kind of surprised because I we had there's some behind the scenes things that happened to for me to swap from YA horror to YA romance.
Mhm.
Basically I had to get out of a contract, and it was like a whole thing. And so I had to switch because of like a contractual thing.
Understood.
And so I was worried. But I've had plenty of people tell me, "Hey, I read Monstrous and then I read your romance and I liked both." So I'm gonna go back and buy the other horror, and then I'm waiting on the new romance. And so a lot of people, they don't mind, and I think that's amazing.
That is amazing. I know some authors feel pressure, like, coming up with different pen names for the other genres that they write in, worried about maintaining their readership. But I love to hear that you've had some success with that. I personally love when the authors can dabble in different genres. Like, just love that versatility as a reader. And,
Yeah,
yep.
I do too. And I think it's part of like I was a little bit strategic, which is that every book that I write feels like a Jessica Lewis book, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Even it doesn't matter what genre it is, like if you read what I write, then you can tell that I wrote it. And I think people like my style, and they like my characters and my themes, and so they are willing to follow me wherever I wander off to.
That's amazing. To build a loyal fan base like that's every creative's dream.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
small. The J. Lou army is small, but we're growing. We're taking application.
I love that. I love that. That's how I feel about my listenership for my podcast too. You know, I would just made a post about that, how I'm not chasing being viral, really cultivating a loyal community that will support you. To me, that's the game. And
Yes,
that's
I
yeah.
agree. That's
Mhm.
everything. I would rather have 1,000 people who just really like my work rather than 100,000 people who feel mediocre about it.
Exactly. Exactly. So, with your book coming out, how do you feel on release day? Like, do you get a lot of anxiety or is it excitement? How do you feel right before the book is about to go live?
I always tell people this, just if you're a debut, just plan for the month before release, you're gonna go insane. Like, just give yourself time to go insane. Because there's, like, a lot of appearances, there's a lot of extra work to do, there's a lot of finalizing things, and then on top of that, promo is the heaviest it's gonna be right before it comes out. And so, just plan on being just crazy for that
That's
month.
real.
But then after that, I find, like, after the book is out, I find there's a little bit of a depression because you're like, "Well, what do I do with my life?" Because I've been working really, really hard nonstop, and then now that's over. But I do feel very positive about it. I am fortunate that I'm the type of writer that I am proud of everything that I put out. And so I don't feel bad or like, "Oh, I wish I could have changed something." Like, I truly did the best I could do at the time.
Mhm.
And so I'm excited for people to read it, and I'm happy to recommend it, and I'm happy to reread it and pull quotes and, like, tell me your favorite part. Like, I am my own biggest fan.
I love
So,
that.
yeah. So I feel good after it's out. Even there is a little dip where you're just like, "Oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do with myself." But after you get over that, then yeah.
I love that. I am my own biggest fan.
Yep.
Look, if you're not rooting for you, you can't
Exactly,
expect
who's
other
gonna
people
do it?
to. Exactly. Who's going to do it? Look, I root for me all the time. I am definitely my number one fan. I rewatch my videos. I listen to
Yep.
my episodes. I'm like, oh yeah, you did that.
Yes.
But we can see more closely. We know our journey the best, and
Mhm.
we know everything we had to overcome to get to this point. And sometimes I just am in admiration for how far I've come.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. I will read a book quick and be like, "Oh, that's so funny, Jessica, you did that."
Yeah, I love that. Have you ever had any like readers reach out to you to tell you about how your books impacted them?
Yes, and it's always so wonderful when it's a kid because, like,
Yes.
it feels so good, especially when they're young and they're just like and they usually reach out through their parents, which is also really cute. And because 'cause they're like, "My son told me to tell you that he loves you."
That's amazing.
And and so usually when that happens, I'll, like, send them a signed copy or a bookmark or sticker or something, and but it does feel really, really nice.
It does, especially because it's the youth. Knowing that you have this type of impact and are able to make these connections and help people feel seen, especially queer youth, have a place in these books and be able to see themselves represented on the page, that really is very important work. So,
Mhm.
just thank you for writing young adult books and really centering these populations and like we just really need it. I keep talking about it, but I love young adult books and I'm really excited to get your book into the hands of more youth because I think that had I had books like this, I might have came out a lot sooner, to be honest.
Just like and especially I live in Alabama, so, like, we were just as a kid, it was just unheard of, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we I didn't even really know about it. And so, it took me a very long time to be, like, comfortable in my own skin and what understanding myself, and I just think if I had had this sooner,
Yes.
I would have known. And even my other books that don't deal specifically with queer things,
Mhm.
like Bad Witch Burning is about poverty and knowing when you're in an abusive relationship. And I feel like if I had had that at 16, like my life would have been
Yes.
so much different.
Yes. That's so important. That's so important.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like that's why YA is so like important to me because it's just like you're doing very important work. Like an adult, I aim to entertain and connect with adults and say, hey, here's what I experienced. Did you also experience? But for kids, I'm really like, this is a guidebook, a manual. Like I'm telling them like this behavior is okay and this behavior is not okay. And it's just like it's a huge responsibility and I don't take it lightly.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm glad. I'm glad. So, are you doing any book events coming up? The book events and book conferences are becoming such a big thing in the book space. So, will readers have an opportunity to connect with you at any of the upcoming book events?
Well, I did apply for some, but I haven't heard back. So I'll have
Okay.
to let you know.
Yeah, please let me know because, that's just I've been going to more book events and trying to connect with authors in person. So, that's definitely something a lot of us have an interest in.
Yeah, and I have been very introverted the past couple of years, but I like book events a lot. And I've really been trying to like branch out a little bit. And
Mhm.
so this was my first year applying to some events that are local to me. And I'm afraid, but I'm gonna do it. I mean, if they'll have me, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping to connect with more readers that way.
Mhm.
Especially for like when I do self publishing, I really want to connect with them one on one rather than trying
I
to play
understand.
the social media rat race. You know what I mean?
Yep. I talk about that a lot. Really having to cater to the algorithm for some of us is very difficult.
It's hard. It's
It's so
hard when you're
hard.
not straight and white. First of all, that's the
Yeah,
first thing. And
that's
then the
true.
second thing, I don't like to appear on camera just because I feel really paranoid about Mark Zuckerberg having my face.
That's
So
real.
I just
We should
don't
all
feel
be
good about that.
concerned about that. And then this
Yeah.
rise in AI.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't wanna log on and see somebody has photoshopped my face or AI, what I don't even know how to use AI. I don't even know this terminology. But
Yeah.
I don't want them to put me in a situation that I didn't consent to. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's so scary to me, and so I just don't ever post, like, my face online.
I
And,
understand.
yeah. Yeah, that's why and I am pretty shy as well. But I do so much better in person because I feel like I'm connecting with someone, and not
Yes.
just like a bunch of people who might see my work, who might not care if they'll even show it to them because Instagram won't even show your post to people.
That's the part. You can have all these followers on social media and they will only push your content to a fraction of them. But, it's just a different landscape now to get your book out there in front of the right people that want it, that want to read it. So I completely understand.
And I would say honestly, like if in traditional, one of the good things is that you can technically not do anything and your book will still sell. And that is not the case for indie.
That's real.
So, yeah, for me, like, I've always known, like, okay, if I really bomb on this Instagram post, it's okay. Like, my publisher is trying to help me. So that is a nice little reassurance. And so then that's helped me be a little braver, and I can try experimental types of post. And or if I'm sick one day, I don't have to worry, oh, I have to make content when I'm like have 100-degree fever, like
Mhm.
I can chill.
But that's good context to have because I feel like most of the authors that I've spoken to on my podcast have either been indie or hybrid.
Mhm.
So, you're presenting, I think, a really good argument for why someone might choose the traditional route. And I think that people should consider all of their options and figure out what's going to be the best path for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I say, like, if you have time to wait, that's a big thing
Yeah.
because you are going to wait. You're going to wait on the publisher, you're going to wait on your agent, you're going to wait on your beta readers to read it before you send it out. Like, waiting is huge. So, if you are patient and if you're introverted and you don't really want to like put your face out there, I think traditional is perfect.
See, that's a good context to have. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, where can readers and listeners go to find more of your work?
So I'm most active on Instagram and Threads. Instagram is like my professional, and then Threads, I'm just like unhinged goblin posting.
I love Threads for that reason.
Me too. And so, both of those are Jessica Lewis author. And then my website has all of my links, and you can't buy it directly from the website, but it's got everything wherever you want to buy it from. The website is authorjessicalewis.com. And then my Patreon, that's where you can read my fun experimental fiction. The one that's running now is called Grampire, and it's
Ooh,
about a grandma vampire.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really my like hobby book, and that's the one I want to try to self publish. So keep an eye on that one. But that Patreon, it's free to read, or you can read early if you want and subscribe to a paid tier. And that one is Jessica Lewis author as well.
Wow. You had me at vampire. I love vampires.
Yes, I am obsessed with that idea. She's my vampire. She's 70 years old. She's got a bad back. She's trying to she's tired of all these youngins running around.
That's right up my alley. I keep toying around with the idea of creating a side project where it's just like a vampire only book club, but maybe
Oh,
do like
cute.
movies and film too, but just all vampires, everything. And
Yes, that would be so fun.
I think so too. So, if I can get this group going, we could read that together. So you said it's on your
Yes,
Patreon. I would love
it
that.
is.
Yeah, that's
It's
creative
free to
too.
read. Yeah. And so I'm hoping that I can get over my fear and I can like have paperbacks,
Mhm.
and that's my goal. And then I want to sell paperbacks at like conventions. That's my goal. And I want to break even. I don't have to get rich. I just want to break even.
But we're not gonna settle. We're gonna manifest
Yes,
because
you're right. You're right.
I'm telling you, it's a wave of us out here. I will read anything about vampires. So you had me at a grandma vampire. I love the creativity and I love seeing older women do things in books. It's my
Me
favorite.
too. Yeah, and I just think there's you can take a vampire so many different
You
ways.
really can.
Like they can be sexy, they can be scary, they can be funny, and I just think they deserve the whole range.
Yes. Well, before I let you go, I have to ask you then, if you got propositioned by a vampire, are you choosing eternity or no?
No, absolutely not.
You're the first person I've asked that said no.
Really?
Yeah, you don't want to outlive everyone?
Heck no. Immortality is a curse. No, thank you.
That's fair.
I do not want to be around at all, and much less for eternity. So, no, thank you.
That's valid. That's valid. I think I would want to just to see what the experience is like. Like, is the thirst really as bad as y'all make it seem? I feel like maybe I'm delusional or it's the Capricorn in me, but I feel like I could control it better than what these other people are doing. I just feel like it
See,
won't.
I'm not that curious. I'm not trying to find. I don't need to know.
That's valid. I'll
But
give you the scoop.
okay, yeah, you let me know how it is. I'm still not doing it. I'll be like, I'm glad, I'm proud of you. I'm happy if you're happy. I don't want to do it. But
That's
I think
valid.
it is interesting, because like my vampire, she's 70, and she was turned when she was 70, and so I think it's immortality is very interesting for her in particular because all of her children are like grown, and then
Mhm.
like she has to watch them pass before her. And she's
Wow.
stuck in this old body who was already kind of on its way out. And she just has like a whole second life after she's already lived. So it
Oh,
is
I
very
love
interesting to
that.
play with.
Yeah. Well, let me slide on over to your Patreon. I really want to read that now too.
Yeah, girl, it's fun. It's a fun time. I wrote it like a TV show. It's like a
Mhm.
monster of the week. So my two characters, the grandpire and the main character is Malia. She's a werewolf, and they team up
Ooh.
and they have like little adventures.
Oh, this sounds amazing.
No, thank you. I do really enjoy it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for telling me about it. That's right up my alley too. So I'm excited because I am reading this book now, and then now I have something else of yours to dabble into. But when I find an author I like, I really start to work through y'all's whole catalog. So I'm really
I'm the same
excited.
way. I find one author, I'm like, yes.
Yes. Like you said, you fall in love with the person's writing style and their voice in the book. So, and then you just want to gobble up more of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
me
coming on
too.
my
This was so
podcast.
fun.
Yes. Well, I wish you so much success on the release of your new book. And I'm really excited to read more of your work and just to see how your career continues to grow. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Book Lovers Club. If you love today's episode, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a chapter. And if you're feeling generous, leave a review because those reviews help other lovers find us. So if you want to keep this conversation going, please join me on Instagram or hop on over to Fable to join the virtual book club. And until next time, remember, the stories we read can help us write the love lives of our dreams. See you next Sapphic Saturday.